I have a quick question for you guys. You guys have played computer games, correct? Like FIFA, NFS, or maybe some sort of a shooting game and everything. Now, there, if you have seen, they'll show a trajectory. Like, for example, let's say you're playing football, then they'll show the trajectory is going like this, right? Now, how do they plot a line in a space? That means I'm talking about how do they plot the trajectory in 3 dimension. So, this chapter deals about 3 dimension geometry. Okay, 3 dimensional geometry. Very, very, very interesting chapter because we are going to consider and we are going to discuss about how a line, how a point, and how a plane is going to be represented in a space. It's no longer just x and y, you have x, y, and z. All right. Now, first we start with a very easy thing that is very, very basic concept. That is, suppose if you have a line, how do we represent the line? And whenever we do have a line, what is the angle made by the line with the coordinate axis, that is the x, y, and z? This is where you're introduced to the concept of direction cosines, direction ratios. Fine. Now, once you have the direction ratio, suppose say you have 2 points in space. Suppose say if you have 2 points, if we connect, we get a line. How do we find the direction ratio of that line? And there are various forms of line. There is a vector form, there is a Cartesian form. Okay. Now, because vectors, the last chapter, what you have learned, you know that vector can be represented in 3D. So, how we use vectors in representing the line. This is what you're going to learn in the first part. Then, after that, we are going to have different forms of the same thing. Like, suppose, say you have two lines, distance between the two lines. There is another concept called as skewed lines. Okay, we are going to understand and discuss these things in detail. Then we have planes. Okay, now a plane like XY plane or a paper, normal paper is also a plane. So if you have a plane in space, how are we going to represent it mathematically? Because we have a Cartesian form and we also have a vector form. Both forms are there. And what if there is a point and a plane? What is the distance between them? What if there are two planes which are intersecting? Then what is the equation of the line what we get? Basically, we are going to discuss about planes. So this chapter mainly deals with lines in space, straight lines in space, and planes in space. Clear? So at the end of the chapter, you should be able to understand and you should be able to comprehend whatever is happening within the space. For example, from one point to another, how a plane moves, how a straight line moves. You should be able to comprehend and understand all these concepts by the end of this particular chapter.